And welcome to the support report when it comes to Overwatch 2. How do supports play in this new 5v5 world? And what does it feel like? Are they as good as Overwatch 1 supports? We're going to cover everything in this video. Now, the first thing to kind of take into consideration here is all supports now have a new passive. This passive allows them to regenerate health. So the way it works is, after 2 seconds without being damaged, you will regenerate 10 health per second. Now, there's probably people out there going, well, what's going on here? What about Mercy? Mercy does that anyway. Yes, she does. However, her regeneration passive has been changed to increase the effects of the role support passive rather than being its own regeneration effect. So for Mercy, she actually regenerates 20 health per second rather than 10. So all the other supports do 10, Mercy does 20. Okay, how do these supports play? Well, in this video, there's going to be 2 gameplay clips. There's going to be Anna, and then we're going to move on to Moira. And I think this is going to sum up the way the supports have been playing so far in the alpha and probably will play in the beta and potentially going forward. You are, oh my god, you are like, you're at the mercy of DPS. You're at the mercy of people flanking you. You have to really be aware where the enemy is. You can't just sit there and expect to be peeled on by your off tank because there is no longer an off tank. What I'm getting at is you are a lot more vulnerable, a hell of a lot more vulnerable. Now there are heroes you can play that do have options around that, and when we get onto the second gameplay clip in this video, you will see how effective certain supports can be. But at the moment, we're going to focus on Anna, and we're going to focus on maybe supports that are going to find it much more difficult to actually be effective. Now, one thing I will say about Anna is she is still incredibly fun to play. You are doing so many... I mean, it's like I said in previous videos. When you give players stuff to do, they feel like they're having more fun because they're doing more stuff, which is great. So Anna's always been awesome for that. The thing with Anna and with supports that seems to be happening in Overwatch 2 is you're so vulnerable because you don't have the off-tank support, and flankers are way more powerful because there's less crowd control. Now, again, one of the reasons why I'm showing Anna gameplay is Anna does have crowd control. Anna can sleep you, but it is now on a 15-second cooldown. So if Anna misses this, well, she's at the mercy of whoever is trying to dive on top of her and kill her. Sure, she could throw a grenade, but even then, it's maybe on cooldown or whatever. And you will notice throughout this clip as well, I'm still sort of playing Anna in kind of the old way. Like, I'm still yeeting my sleep like I just did. I'm just yeeting my nade at the enemy team, which, by the way, offensive nades are hugely underrated on ladder as well. But going for the sleeps, you kind of need to keep the sleep. You really need to keep that because it's your only defense against getting absolutely obliterated, which is fun to play, right? And this is one of the things Blizzard have managed to do, and that there is a kill with the sleep dart on the mech.
With the sleep dart.
Blizzard have managed to make the roles fun to play, but support seems to be the most... I can't really say less fun to play because it's not. It's the most vulnerable role to play. While tanks feel way tankier than they did before, they feel beefy. They're just super versions of themselves. Supports are living on the edge, especially if you're playing Anna. If you're playing Zen, good luck to you because you don't have any... The only self-heal you've got is your self-regeneration of your shields and your... the new healer passive, and that's it. Like, you're literally, you rely on other people keeping you alive, or you landing all your shots and taking out whoever is trying to press you. But overall, it feels okay. I don't want to like completely go Doom mode on this and just, well, Doom Sayer mode, not Doom the hero, and be like, oh, this is terrible, it's so bad. I just want you guys to be aware that you are much more vulnerable. I mean, you will get dove upon, you will get killed, and if the enemy realize you're playing a hero that can be attacked in that fashion, you're probably going to suffer. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to another hero. And this will highlight the... I love using this word. The dichotomy between these two supports. This is Moira. Now, you might be wondering why I'm even playing Moira. What's going on here with Moira? Well, the premise was quite simple. What happens if you play a support that has a get-out-of-jail card every 7 seconds or 6 seconds, whatever Moira's is? I'll find out in a second when the next fade. I think it's 6, right? Yeah, 6. Well, it turns out that that's actually really powerful because if you are in trouble, you can get the hell out of trouble. Because you've got one less tank, you've got one less player on your team to protect you from trouble. This means if you can look after yourself, that's going to be super strong thing to do, right? So you want to be able to look after yourself. So Moira, she's got her life steal from secondary fire. She can throw a heal orb out to heal herself. She can fade away. And of course, if she pops coalescence, she also regenerates health from that as well. But the premise was simple. It was just player support that can react to what is going on. If the enemy team want to get all crazy, because remember, Overwatch 2, a lot of people have been saying this, it's more deathmatchy than Overwatch was. And it's simply because everyone's faster. Like, supports move faster. There's one less tank. People are generally playing, like, I mean, look at this Doomfist in the back line. I know it's Samito and he's in there and he's killing everyone. I'm like, yeah, I don't really want any part of this. Also shouldn't be sucking in when he's blocking as well. That's not good. But actually manages to kill me as well, which shows you how good Doomfist can be. That was a misplay by me, though. I should not have really died to him there, but I guess the fight's over because we're basically in our spawn. We're just waiting to die. But excuses aside, Moira has options. If I was Ana there, I would be dead unless I slept him. And that's every 15 seconds. Remember, Moira's option is every 7 seconds. So I guess what I'm getting at with all of this kind of talk about the supports and the support report in Overwatch 2, they're fun to play. I've had more fun playing supports that are reactive. Like Lucio can be really fun as well. Who can deal with pressure. Brig, it's a shame I don't have any, like, potentially... Well, I don't really have any good Brig footage, but Brig is very good. Because Brig fills the niche that I think she always should have filled, and that is the tanky support, not a frontline stun bot. You know, that was ridiculous that Brig turned out to be like that. But having her as the tanky support now, who can do quite a bit of damage, by the way, because Shield Bash now just does damage. It doesn't stun you. She's still got Whip Shot. She can still knock you away. She's hard to kill. Inspire is still a strong ability. Repair Pack is still a strong ability. So it's very difficult to kill the Brig. So this is where we start talking about meta implications as well. If we look forward and let's say we guess at the way things might go in terms of Overwatch 2 meta, it is more rock, paper, scissory than Overwatch, just because there's one less player on each team. So it's easier and it's more apparent when you make a pick that is directly countering an enemy hero or even the enemy composition. So if this team were, for example, playing Tracer, Genji, well, that's two flankers. That's not going to be a good time. But if I'm playing Moira and they're both coming after me, I've still got options, right? I can still do stuff. But if it's Moira Brig against that, well, you're not really going to die against that. You're going to be able to protect yourself. Brig's obviously going to be able to heal her other support. She's got her own barrier, so she can obviously tank quite a bit of damage. So in that way, you change your healer comp. You go away from, let's say, if you were using Anne and Zen even, because they would get destroyed, right? Especially Zen, because he has no way of surviving damage being poured into him. So maybe that's where we go with Overwatch 2 and the supports. And you can argue that's where we are, or where we should be, with Overwatch at the moment. Countering, well, making picks to counter what the enemy team are doing, instead of just relentlessly playing whatever hero you are playing, or you want to play. But the thing is, and I think it's been fairly clear with this gameplay, I am getting killed quite a lot. You know, I am sort of YOLOing on the front line. I've got gold eliminations, gold healing, silver damage, I think that was. You can do a lot with reactive support, and I think Moira right now is probably the strongest support. Mercy's also pretty strong because she can move about. You know, she's got that mobility. She obviously still lacks that burst heal potential, but she does have that movement. Zen, I think, struggling. Ana can work, but obviously, you know, there can be issues with Ana, as I've covered in this video in detail. Lucio is really good because he's survivable and gives you speed boost, especially if you've got a Reinhardt on your team. Lucio can be very, very good. Brig is very good as well because of her survivability, her intrinsic survivability. So, yeah, I think it's okay. I feel like a lot of people may come out of sort of the blocks going, oh my god, this is really bad for supports. I'm not sure it is. You just feel naked. Because if you're used to the setup with tanks on the front line and maybe you've got a D.Va that peels for you effectively, you just don't have that anymore. Like, you have to be able to deal with these threats yourself. And we can say as well that maybe that's because Overwatch is pushing more into the world of, it is now about these individual pop-off moments and less about a team working together as much as they would have done in Overwatch 1. Anyway, I hope that video has sort of gave you guys insight into the way supports have been playing in the alpha and probably will play going forward into the beta. I think the changes are good. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Remember, you can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa, apart from TikTok, which is at StylosaUL, because someone stole my name. Son of a bitch. But yeah, apart from that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.